something in the nature of a Commonwealth university. But this was something that proved impractical because every developing Commonwealth country wants to develop its own undergraduate school, and fair enough, so it should. But one felt that the existing British schools were not entirely suitable for Commonwealth students, particularly from developing countries. This was how I got interested in the subject, and then when I was asked by your Premier to consider coming here, I raised the question of how we were going to train the future engineers of Memorial, and we began to think about this possibility.
The late Lord Taylor of Harlow. We're going to have a look at waterfront in St. John's, the arrival of this vessel. It was a tanker, the Frank D. Moores. Oil is something that seems to crop up in the library, the CJON archives, every few years or so. The promise of wealth beyond dreams. Cameras took themselves down to the waterfront to shoot this tanker, which of course had something to do with Come By Chance, and if it wasn't Come By Chance, then certainly it was the oil refinery in Holyrood. And in latter days, of course, if the Frank D. Moores or someone else like her was in port, it would have to do with Hibernia. Always something that seems to be just beyond our grasp. We continue in St. John's, downtown, and a scene that has been shot so many times in the past 20 or 30 years. The classic people walking scene is the name on it. The story could have related to Christmas shopping. We see some Christmas items in the windows. And, of course, the liquor store, which relates to Christmas as well. Well, it is Christmas. This is a little bit of gag film. Somebody putting a parcel into an old Chev. This is up in Buckmaster Circle by our old station. And some newsmen, obviously a newsman, they're the type of people who do this, picking up the package and slinking off. Doesn't say much in terms of humor. Okay, this is going to blow you away. It's the changing of cigarette prices. And it shows some filling up of the machine. Somebody buys a pack of cigarettes, a pack of Export A, it looks like. A's, eh? What else was in that machine? Salem. Cigarettes were there, because there's a pack of Salem appears a little bit later on, but they zero in on the price right there by the 20. Cigarettes have gone up to 90 cents a pack. Goodness gracious. You know, this wasn't that long ago, sometime in the early 70s, and I can tell that from this particular piece that we're looking at. It has something to do with publications, but it has more to do with length of skirts and things like that, which would tell you that it's the 70s, probably early 70s. Oh, this is great. A couple of airport pieces now, one from St. John's and then something that'll just knock your socks off from Gander. This is the airport at St. John's before it was fully renovated. And this was the completion, I think, of Phase 1. That's when the carousel, the baggage carousel, was still outside. There's a couple of interesting points you can look at here. One of them is, of course, there's no ramp connecting the plane to the terminal directly. And the other is that there is no security area. Of course, the early 70s were a much less troubled time. And it wasn't necessary to have what is airtight security these days. If not airtight, pretty well close to it. Ought to say a word about the cameraman here, because he is just all over the place. It looks like a scene from Friday the 13th, Part 3 or something. I shouldn't say these things. Anyway, one of the things that we did connected to airports, I mentioned Gander a couple of moments ago, is we covered a royal visit. Now, it wasn't a royal visit in the sense of a 14-day stay by the Queen, but she dropped into Gander for 45 minutes, and the late Mike Roberts and Sylvia Wigg were on hand.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Mike Roberts with Sylvia Wigg reporting to you from outside Gander's International Airport on the occasion of the arrival of Her Majesty Queen Elizabeth and Prince Philip here at Gander for a very brief stay. I don't know if you can hear me now over the scream of the jet engines on this mammoth plane, this brand new VC-10 aircraft. BOAC Cunard airliner. This is the